Okay.
Okay, here we are on Driven Together.
Yep.
I've got my guest, Jonny Li, and we need to pick where to go, Johnny. We need someplace that's a destination about 7 or 8 minutes away or something like that.
Well, we could do our pickleball course that we just did.
Okay,
earlier.
what would you call it?
Let's see.
The name of the park?
Tower Grove Park.
Tower Grove Park,
Yep.
okay. Navigate to Tower Grove Park. There we go. Does that sound right?
Yep.
That's about...
And if anything, I could always just tell you how to get there.
Well, we got to have the car self-drive us. So, oops, I got to put my seatbelt on. Okay, here we go. So, now you've been in this car before on self-drive, right?
Yep.
Have you
I've
ever-
also been in the driver's seat.
Oh, did you do it?
I well, it took me to the light immediately, and then it was having a really hard time because
that's right,
the
yeah.
light was being really weird.
Yeah, that was a weird one.
And so I had to manually
Take over and
drive
yep.
it just to turn left or
Yep.
right or whatever, and then it kind of self-drove its way the
Okay.
rest to our apartment.
What's your opinion on the current status of self-driving vehicles?
I mean, we've always wanted to have these self-driving vehicles, and I mean, it'd be very nice to have one in my foreseeable future, but I don't think it's one of those necessities that
Yeah.
everyone really needs to have. I think it's honestly really nice the older you get to get a self-driving car, because then it kind of limits a lot of the health factors associated with driving. For example, if I were to black out right now, right?
So the older you are, the more
Or if
the more
someone
in
has,
danger you are.
yeah, or if someone has dementia, for example, I would not trust the person in the car there to be driving me, but it would be very nice if that person who had dementia has to get to a doctor's appointment or something,
Yeah.
and they can't drive themselves, so then having someone or something take them there, because that's one of the one of the big social determinants of health is being able to get to your destination. It's going to take us all the way back. That's so quick. I thought it would take us all the way through Tower Grove Park.
Yeah, I don't know where it's going to go now. We need another destination.
But I think self-driving cars are, very neat, and the fact that you're not even, hands on the steering wheel, this is all doing this while we're having a chit-chat is pretty convenient, and honestly really, really cool how far we've come. And I don't even think we've really hit too deep into the iceberg that is artificial intelligence.
Yeah. Do you, speaking of artificial intelligence, how's that changing things for you right now in the last couple years?
I mean, I try to use it pretty sparingly, really only using it whenever I get stuck, or if I need something to kind of challenge me, or I think it's great for school. I think it can also be pretty harmful for school too, but I'll get into that after these benefits. So I use it because whenever I'm studying for a test, for example, it's really nice to not have to always, send one email out to a professor and have for them wait and respond to me just to answer my question. And I can put that
so you just
into,
ask the question to ChatGPT or to...
Yeah, and sometimes it'll pop out what I want. Or sometimes what I mainly use it for is, I've talked to you about this, but I'll say, hey, Gemini, can you make a 25-question multiple choice quiz over these objectives, specifying, highlighting these key points that I want you to really test me on. And it's perfect for that, because it'll show me the right answer, it'll show me the wrong answer, and it's just been really helpful for me for studying, because I'm not always the best test taker, so getting those practice type questions, it really helps me puts me into that testing mindset, I would say.
Are you at all concerned about when you go into the job world after all the studying you're doing, that it'll have an effect on that in a negative way or positive way?
I think there's always going to be two sides to that coin, because while it's going to be very nice for me to just, do a quick little lookup, hey, what is, like someone presents with a fever, like what are some quick diagnoses that may be along their symptoms, and realistically I should already have a list myself going into that before I even look at AI. But if I ever wanted to double check, it's nice knowing that there
Interestingly,
is, we can just go straight.
Yeah, it sorry to interrupt, but it went over to that spot,
Mm-hmm.
and then it didn't seem to know where to stop, so it went back outside the park, made a big loop around, and then came right back in again.
Yeah, at the exact same spot, and it was going to turn again at the same spot.
It was going to go to the same spot again. Yeah. So.
And then one of the bad things is, AI is pretty accessible to anyone these days. So
Right.
you could be like, oh, I've had this fever for 3 days. What are some things that could be happening to me, right? And now you're coming in to, let's say, my clinic, and you're saying, hey, Johnny, I have like XYZ things going on. AI told me
Right.
this is what's happening. What should I do? And then I have to kind of work around that and be like, okay, well, what symptoms are you presenting with? Really working to find out what is actually happening to you, instead of what is AI telling both of us what's going on with you. And I think that's both like really nice to have in your back pocket, but it's not something that I want to necessarily rely on. That's why I try not to use it for too many of my like school things, because I think AI itself is taking over a lot of critical thinking,
Right.
and I don't want to be a part of that problem. So I'm trying to like use that sparingly I can.
Do you think when we're giving up a lot of critical thinking to AI, that we will lose cognitive ability in the process? Or
I think there's ways that you can use your cognitive ability to like really frame a question or a prompt that you want AI to answer. But at the end of the day, I think that really does get rid of your like drive to want to learn more, because everything is already so accessible to you.
Yeah.
And it's just taking things from all over the internet or from various different sources to basically make an answer that you want to know, if that makes like any sense.
Yeah.
And instead of like me looking at 5 different research papers, let's say, or even like 5 different news articles for a specific topic that I want to kind of know about or delve into, now AI can just like kind of summarize all 5 things into one sentence, which may seem great on paper, but maybe I need, the paragraph to really understand something, instead of just a one sentence thing that copy pastes from all these different sources together. So I don't think that there's necessarily, I think AI can be both good and bad depending on how much you use it and what you use it for, because the other day we had someone come into town. We were celebrating their birthday, and we needed like a quick AI picture just to be like happy 28th birthday or something, and we could not do that on our own. So it's nice to like just have something quick, even though like it was an AI generated photo. But then if you need something that's more in depth, so like that health thing, you wouldn't trust any provider that was like, oh yeah, AI said this thing, one word or one sentence long, 2 sentences long, versus me saying like, yeah, I've read 5 different articles about this particular topic at hand. A lot of them say no, but there is some sort of benefit. Like that sounds a lot better than me saying AI said
But
XYZ things.
there'll be a lot of temptation to take whatever
Mm-hmm.
your diagnosis is and also run that through AI and see if it agrees, don't you think? Or not?
I think there is definitely a possibility where we start to fact check ourselves against AI, but I think that's part of, at least healthcare wise, part of healthcare is having a collaborative, team effort and really relying on resources around you and not necessarily always on the internet. So like whenever I get into practice, I want to kind of lean on those nurses, those older PAs, or even my attending physicians who have more experience than me in the field, than to rely on words on a screen, a robot telling me this is what's been happening, which is a lot younger than those who are like serving before me.
Yeah. Well, about time to go get that boba tea.
Okay.
So,
awesome.
Any closing thoughts before we head out?
Not that I have any. I just don't think. I think AI has a very long way to go before we really see the true benefits and consequences of it, even though there are already, we're just scratching the surface of AI. And I think there's still a lot that we need to uncover to really deem if it's good and or bad. Because it has good benefits, as we've talked about, but it also has some negative options, not even just in academia, but even for the environment and a bunch of other things too. So.
All right. Well, thank you for being on
of
Driven
course.
Together.
Yeah.
And thank you for watching.
Thank you guys.